to the Nevada Patriot Podcast with Matt Sadler.
Welcome to another episode of the Nevada Patriot Podcast with Matt Sadler. I am sorry it's been a while since we've had a new show. Been a really busy 10-day stretch lately since the last recording. So welcome viewers on Rumble, YouTube, and the NevadaPatriot.com, and welcome to all of you listeners on KWKIRadio.com and 97.7 FM Pahrump. I love you guys, and I appreciate you spending some time with us today. I know we're all busy. I don't take your time for granted, so I want to keep this pithy, keep this moving, keep it informative, and let you go on about your day or night here. So thanks for coming along for the ride. I wanted to speak today on some national topics and also on some local stuff that I'm pretty fired up about, pretty excited about coming out here in Southern Nevada. So I'm glad the temps are dropping, but it seems like tempers are still pretty hot out there. Did you guys see the now viral video from the angry dad at a recent, I think it was, Clark County School Board meeting? Anyway, that guy was, wow, he was kind of hitting the nail on the head. He was laying down some major logic on fire, and in my opinion, he was doing his best to unsheath that veil of hypocrisy that some of these school board members, these wackadoodles, seem to love to just swim in. And I'm glad that he's putting it out there, that he caught a little bit of fire. I don't know if it was him who did it. Obviously he was speaking, but it was somebody in the gallery, in the crowd that was filming it. Thank you for doing that. I think it's shedding some national attention on what's going on here in Southern Nevada. It's, we're not too far off, honestly. Our school district out here, granted, we're making some of the changes that's necessary to get us back on track, but we had kind of veered a bit off. So I'm hoping that we start seeing some major improvements here locally in Nye County. But, Clark County seems to be a bellwether for what goes on as far as left-wing lunacy in our valley. So let's do our best as concerned, active citizens to keep this on our radar, not let our guard down, and make sure that we're there when the kids need us most. Former gubernatorial candidate, switching gears a bit, and former mayor of North Las Vegas, John Lee, is entering the US House District 4. And this is for US Congress. And this is the district that covers much of Las Vegas, much of us here in Nye County. So he has now announced that he is running in that race in the GOP primary. So that's exciting news. He had served, like we talked about, as a pretty successful North Las Vegas mayor for quite some time. His opponent, David Flippo, has already been active campaigning out here in our valley, in Pahrump, in Beatty, and in the different towns and areas in our county that's important to us. He's already been visiting out here multiple times, and he's been connecting with our voters. I've seen him numerous times already out here, just kind of bumping into him in our valley. So like David Flippo, I hope John Lee will take us up on the invitation to not only be interviewed here on the Nevada Patriot Podcast, but also to join the debate panel on November 9th at the Bob Roode Community Center at 5:30 p.m. Just as a reminder to our viewers and to our listeners that we are hosting, Grassroots Conservatives and the Nevada Patriot Podcast are hosting a free event at the Bob Roode Community Center November 9th. It's a Thursday, 5:30 p.m. Doors open as early as 2:30 p.m. to kind of meet and greet some of these candidates. The races that are going to be featured, again, we'll remind you, U.S. Senate, U.S. House District 4, and also the Nye County Commission seats. And I believe there's actually 3 different seats that are open. So 1, 2, and 3, those districts are not open per se, but are up on the election ballot. Number 2 has already a candidate in there. Frank Carboni is an incumbent. I'm going to reach out to him to see if he is defending his seat there. And same with Bruce Jabor in District 1. So those candidates are already in place. They're already incumbents, and we're just verifying and making sure that they're going to be running again. So challengers in District 1 and 2, if there are any, please reach out to me through the show on our website, thenevadapatriot.com, or you can call me 775-382-2516, 888-888-2516. Reach out to me, let me know that you're interested in perhaps joining that debate panel, and maybe we could get you an interview here on the show as well, so you could let some of the voters and listeners know a little bit more about you. Again, that debate, and like I said, I urge people to show up early, because I'm not sure if we're going to have a completely full house, or we'll be double over capacity. So it's the first time we've hosted an event like this. It's going to be an exciting debate format, not your typical run-of-the-mill boring debates. It's going to be an exciting, informative, and a good time. Going to be family friendly, so the candidates better be family friendly up there, or my good friend Will, who's running the sound, will be cutting off your mics. So let's keep it civil. It can have some pep, it can have some zest, it can be feisty, it can be fiery, but we have to be respectful, and we have to maintain a certain level of decorum. And I hope our audience members are planning to be there and show up early. Like I said, doors open as early as 2:30 p.m. If you want a chance to meet and greet with some of the candidates, maybe pick up some of their swag, learn about their campaign stances, what they stand for, what they're looking to get accomplished, a little bit about their bio. Because to be honest with you, when this debate starts, we're not going to ask a lot of the vanilla questions about bios and different things like that. We want to get to the source of how they feel, their convictions, their preferences, their ideology, and we'll get into some policy questions, obviously. But I mean, can you ask yourself this? Look back to the 2016 election, especially on the GOP side. Do you really remember any of the policy questions that were asked substantively? But you remember the personality, and you remember the little sound bites and the stuff that really let the audience and America know what the candidates were all about. So that's what I'm hoping to bring out of these candidates, to let their personalities and hopefully their best foot forward. I want to be fair to everyone with time, but I do not mind there being some back and forth. I think that makes for a more exciting event. So hope you're as excited about it as I am. It's going to be fun, and not that canned, crusty debate format that we usually are stuck with. Speaking of which, doesn't it seem like the last debate night, you know what I'm talking about, the last GOP presidential primary debate, it always seems like an exciting notion at first, right? Oh, gotta get home, gotta queue up the TV or the streaming or whatever for the debate. There's going to be fireworks, or you're excited to do it, to watch it. It's kind of like you're planning to go to a gourmet restaurant, but at these debates, it's like if you go to the restaurant and the waiter will only let you eat a garden salad with oil and vinegar and cold soup. It's a disappointment. Well, maybe it's just me. That's how I feel every single debate night. So speaking of which, the elephant in the room, or not in the room, Donald Trump not on the debate stage. I get his logic. I understand why he doesn't feel like he needs to really be in there. He says sometimes it looks like everybody's competing for second, which in some respects you can say, yeah, that's true. I think most of those candidates are kind of competing for second. When you look at really the only three viable ones left, you can say are, Ron DeSantis, Vivek Ramaswamy, and also maybe Nikki Haley. I think she's a distant third on that debate stage. Everybody else, including Tim Scott, I think they need to pack it in. Their campaigns aren't going to be grabbing enough traction, and they're doing the public a disservice by being on the debate stage. They should really allow the top two or three to really have a substantive debate where we're gonna, I hate to say it, I want to be entertained when I tune in that. I want to know their personality, because they're all going to have, for the most part, a lot of the same conservative talking points. Decades ago it was like, I'm a Reagan Republican, Reagan. Now it's, they're on to their new shticks. They're not really saying they're Trump Republicans. That'll come probably 4 years down the road, 8 years down the road, after they kind of put their fingers, lick them, put their finger in the air, and see which way the wind's blowing. That, oh yeah, I'm a Trump Republican. I'm a populist Trump Republican. That'll come out next. But for the most part, I think he's missing an opportunity, though. He not only needs to appeal to, but he also needs to persuade and energize those independent and undecided voters. In my humble opinion, it's not enough for these voters to choose, not to go vote for the lunatics whatever lunatic is actually running on the left for the presidential or for their presidential nominee. It's not enough for them to stay at home and stay on the couch. I'll qualify that. If RFK somehow miraculously gets the nomination, despite the Democrat machine probably going to be kicking it up into high gear to destroy his campaign and possibly leave him in a position where he can be hurt or killed by not allowing him a Secret Service detail, by the media lambasting him, by the machine constantly probably closing up doors of opportunity. I know what it's like to be a candidate on the short end of the stick when the big party apparatus is not behind you. And I'm not talking about the members in the party, the voters, the delegates even in the party. I'm talking about the people that are pulling the strings. When they're against you, it's very difficult. But I think, he's a qualified candidate on their side that could get a lot of these independents off the couch to go vote. So Donald Trump needs to get out there now and make his appeal to that voting bloc, because his base is extremely loyal. It doesn't matter almost what he would do. It'd be so difficult for them to not vote for Trump. He's got those people, the people that show up to the rallies, the people that showed up at the last one, even in Michigan. He needs more than that, though. And I know he likes it. It's his comfort zone. It's his lane. He's comfy. He's on his, A game. He's saying the right things. He's being charismatic up there. He's being funny. That's not going to ultimately win him the election. It's going to be getting the undecided voters, the independents, the nonpartisans, even some Democrats who refuse to vote for their lunatic agenda, to get out there and vote for Trump. Not enough for them to just say, you know what, I'm going to sit at home. And also the incessant, and I know it's there, the incessant whining and bringing it back to the voter fraud issues, the election being stolen, different things like that. Look, I'm the last one that's going to tell you there wasn't hankiness going on, that there wasn't cheating going on, that there wasn't a concerted effort to delegitimize the elections and swing the balance to the left. I believe that with all my heart. I also believe that, we have to play within the confines and the rules of engagement in the game that we're in. And if this is how it's played, and if there's going to be, I don't know what the percentage is, 1% fraud, 2%, 3%, enough to sway elections. I know there's a percentage there. He needs to be speaking to not only people in the Republican Party, but those same types of voters, and be confident and empower them to get out there and vote for him in overwhelming numbers, so that whatever fraud is out there, whatever level of bogus ballots that could be out there, that are favoring the other side, he needs to get overwhelming numbers and participation out in mass and get to the polls. Drop off their ballots at their local clerk's offices, or whatever they can do to start that process now. Ballot harvesting, everything. He needs to stop just whining and complaining about the election being stolen, even if it was. Needs to move on and focus on these bigger point issues. I think that once he's in there again as president, that's when he needs to kind of start putting in policies, whether they be executive orders or just using the bully pulpit of having that office of the president of the United States, the leader of the free world, to push the states to go toward mechanisms by which they're going to be having elections that are a lot more secure. Because at the end of the day, that's what we want. One person, one vote. None of this, and I'm with him on that. I understand that. But at the same time, constantly throwing that red meat at your base that's already probably going to vote for you is doing a disservice to the other dynamic in your campaign that you really are required to kick up a notch. And that has to be the appeal to the nonpartisan voter. He needs to give them a reason to get up and vote. Because if that means he has to win the election by 5% more total votes to make up for a couple percent of the shady votes that are out there, then he needs to do that. He needs to make the numbers overwhelming in his favor. Not to mention, that's going to help races up and down that ticket. He is the linchpin, the foundation of getting our Republican Get Out the Vote campaign going, to help these candidates in the down ballots. And I can tell you from Nevada, in southern Nevada especially, we're outnumbered in the state legislature almost 2-1 in both chambers. We are outnumbered 2-1 in the lower house, and we're one person away from being outnumbered 2-1 in the state Senate. And more people get out to vote for Trump, the more people will likely vote red. And this could be, if done properly, and if everybody's motivated and steering the boat in the same direction, could be that red wave season that we kind of missed this last time around. I wouldn't count on it because there's a lot of dejected folks out there. I have family members, friends, people that I talk to on a day-to-day basis that are so dejected by the system that we're in. They need a reason to be revitalized and energized. But if our leaders in our party, if our officials that are running for office are campaigning solely on a platform that just beats in everybody's head that the elections are rigged, that their vote might not matter, well, they're going to take that. They're going to take that and they're going to possibly stay at home and not vote at all. Oh, they'll go there. Maybe they'll just vote for 1 or 2 races and they won't care about the rest. I mean, they're thinking their vote doesn't count. Well, I'll tell you what, the other side is sure as heck going to be ballot harvesting. The other side sure as heck going to be getting every single person they can with half a brain or less to go ahead and throw their uninformed vote. They're going to get as many ballots together as possible, count as many as possible in order to win the election. So we have to override that with overwhelming force, overwhelming numbers, peaceful. We have to be, but we have to be diligent. And it's not enough to have the red meat and do the rah-rah, siskumba. It's not enough. It's not enough to have success, because ultimately in the practical world, we can say the right things. We can, have the right kind of sayings on our t-shirts, on our coffee mugs, on our Facebook profiles, whatever. But if we don't translate that to victory at the ballot box to actually put people in office that will make things better, it's all for nothing. It's all vanity. Back to one more thing and we'll close out the show. We're making this kind of an abbreviated show this week, but I want to go back to some local events happening here soon. Real quick, if this is there, we still have time to plug it. There's going to be a ladies fashion show going on October 14th, and that will be at the Artesia Community Center. Want to let folks know that on the radar. Details should actually be on our website, thenevadapatriot.com, or on the Rumble description. There's also a bunco night. It's going to be benefiting the local Nye County Republican Central Committee. It's a little fundraiser, but there's also going to be cash prizes. It's going to be at the Republican headquarters. I believe it's this Saturday, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. So that's Saturday on the 9th, I believe. Wait a second. Let me look that up real fast. That's how we do it on the show. 7th. Good thing I looked up. October 7th at 2 p.m. at the Republican building. I know they're selling tickets in advance. They're going to cap it at 60 players, but I don't think they're near that amount yet. So could be able to slide in there, get there before 2 p.m. at the Republican headquarters. It's near Pahrump Valley Boulevard and Mance, next to Over the Hump Savor. Johnny's To Go is in that little complex. It's a good location, actually. Good little office, comfortable. You'll have fun. I'll probably be there with my wife. Thank you to my better half, my extrovert, my partner in crime. Kind of gets me out of my shell a bit to go do some stuff like this. So hopefully I'll get a chance to meet some of you there. Also excited to talk about, we're not sure about the date. Right now we're shooting for the weekend before Christmas Eve, probably a Sunday. That would be looking like the 17th of December. Who in our audience would have fun at a pro wrestling event? I mean, as a kid, I loved it. I was a Hulk Hogan fan, went to a couple events here and there, and I get it. There's those people out there that, that's not real, Matt. But you know what? What's real is the athleticism, the choreography, the show. It's always good. I'm kind of taking off my political hat for that event and trying to put on a little bit of a sports promoter hat for that event. Not that I don't have any help or other people that are on board with it. Again, going back to my wife, the extrovert in crime with me. She's great at breaking the ice, helps me in situations where we're connecting, networking, if you will, with other people in our community and even in Las Vegas to kind of put our heads together to try to do something good for the community. It's going to be a charity type benefit. It's going to benefit a local charity here in Pahrump. We're not looking, in fact, I mean, it's going to be, one thing I can guarantee, I'm not sure what it's going to look like right now as we're kind of going through the cost to put one of these events on here in Pahrump, but it's going to be, I can tell you it's going to be mega affordable for the family. I know local businesses are probably going to come support, sponsor in order to keep ticket prices as nominal or hopefully non-existent. That's the goal, to make this event, not ticket price based. That's the goal. So stay tuned at this show weekly, or follow our site, grassrootsconservativesofnevada.com, thenevadapatriot.com. We're going to constantly be doing updates, and I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you that today's show is actually brought to you by Grassroots Conservatives of Nevada. Our Pahrump chapter is here. We meet every fourth Monday, except for this month. It's the third Monday because I plan on being out of town on the 4th. I chair the meeting, but we meet here at the bail bonds office, and it's spirited. I mean, anywhere between 20 and 30 some odd people meet here on that meeting. We actually have a committee that's helping to set up this debate, for instance. That's what we do. We were planning events and different things like that. If you come on and join, 6 p.m. every fourth Monday, except this month it's on the 16th. Every other month it's going to be the fourth Monday, 6 p.m. at the bail bonds office. Jump in, get involved. One of our main goals is not only putting on events, but it's coming alongside grassroots level candidates in efforts to rate them, to vet them, to come alongside of them and help promote them, push them, make them viable without having them, worried about, at least off the bat, courting, big money donors and being beholden to special interests. That's the goal, is to get more candidates that are authentic and that don't have to spend most of their time going out there and raising money and probably owing people favors or owing an open line of communication to people that are no better than you or I. And their opinion shouldn't matter more than yours or mine does, just because they can open up a checkbook and send out $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, whatever. That effect of money in politics, especially at the local level, is something that we're looking to change, to kind of, I won't say eradicate, but take the emphasis away from it. That's the goal. So hopefully, we'll see you here at one of these Grassroots Conservatives meetings. If not, you'll be hearing my voice on the radio or through Rumble, YouTube, whatever platform you choose to use. You'll have ways to get connected with me and be up to date on everything that we're doing. And again, thanks for everybody that came to the Fall Festival and stopped by our booth. We talked to probably hundreds of folks, most of them like-minded. A lot of what we believe in as a group, what I believe in as an individual, finding common ground. It's a great thing. Obviously, there's always a few people who don't see it eye to eye, but hey, it's America and everybody has a right to their own opinion and to be respectful. Doesn't mean they have to agree, but to respect other people's opinions, and individuality. Let's preserve this First Amendment as long as we can, right? Let's protect this republic while we can. So please get involved. Again, thank you for stopping by the Nevada Patriot Podcast with Matt Sadler. We'll see you again soon, and God bless you. Take care.
Thank you for listening. Tell a friend and join us next time. After you catch your breath, check out the NevadaPatriot.com for more content, advertising opportunities, and to give listener feedback. That website again is the NevadaPatriot.com. Until next time, Patriots, stay American.